Hello everyone, I'm Carolyn from Tranquil Mentor and welcome to our channel. Today we're going to be reviewing the BLEDS Vintage 6x6 Scrapbook Journal Paper Pack. The paper is 160 GSM and you get 24 sheets in a pack. These papers can be purchased on Amazon and there will also be an online store called Aya Craft Supplies. The links will be below. And here is the paper pad and I'm showing you all the different papers inside. And this is just a cover sheet and it has all the different papers to choose from and they are heavyweight. And here is one. I just love the way that this turquoise and the browns and the golds are all put together. Very vintagey looking. And then here's another vintage paper with that green in there also with the writing back behind it. Very, very beautiful. And this reminds me a little bit of bark, but it has a nice texture to it. Very textury paper. And here is kind of like patchy, vintage patchy type look here. And just the way everything's combined together with the colors is just makes it have that old look. And then here's a pattern, like an Aztec-y type pattern stamped on top. And then another texturized paper here and another Aztec type pattern on top. And here is a pattern. I love the combination of these colors with the reds and the blues and the golds. And here's another pattern paper too. Very, very vintagey looking as well. And then here are the greens, the golds, and the blues. Just beautiful combination. And here, this reminds me of red, white, and blue. Very patriotic looking. It would be great on a, a journal, a firecracker or something like that. Very, very nice. And here are the two papers that I decided to work with, and I'm going to be making a journal. I wanted to make a craft journal for myself so that I could remember my craft projects, because a lot of times I think of things and I want to write them down and organize them, and I want it to be small, nothing really large, something I can tuck away off to the side and still it looks really pretty. So here I've taken these two sheets and I'm just bending over these edges here and burnishing them down. I don't have my bone folder. I did break it, but a bone folder at this point with these papers, it would work very nicely. I'm just measuring, taking a look, and I'm going to get both of these papers even because I want to wrap them. And since the journal is not 6x6, just a journal that they have at Dollar Tree. I think I absolutely grabbed the last one, but I just happened to think of it and decided to grab one. And so here we are, resizing, burnishing again, taking a look at what I think here. And since we do have these two papers, what I'm going to have to do is put some kind of sticker on top of it or some decal that I make, and then that will divide that line. But for here, we're just going to get that all lined up, and it's just a matter of, I didn't measure or anything, it was just a matter of folding that over. And then here I've got some double-sided sticky tape. I get this from Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree is very close by me, so I can grab this very easily. And there's other tapes out there, double-sided, but this is just what I usually have on hand. And it's nice to work with. There's, times when it could be a little difficult, but I have a way that I work with it now. And I put it on first, and then I take the top layer off. That makes it a lot easier to work with by trimming it up and just cutting it at the length that I need. And then I just catch a little corner and then peel it back. So we'll cut it right here. Make sure it's down. And then find a little edge. Sometimes not always easy. Okay, and there we go. And I'm just making sure that I did get the sticky part right onto the book. And then I'm going to take my paper and we'll get that lined up right here. I'm going to put this first piece on just so I can give myself enough room at the end, because we're going to fold these like you would fold them. Back in my generation, we had to cover our school books, and we would cover them with grocery bags. So this reminds me a lot of it, but it has to be quite a bit more precise than covering with a grocery bag, but it just reminds me of that. So from that experience, I do have a little bit of knowledge from that on what to do to make this cover fit nicely. And you can see the line a little bit here, and it's okay. I'm just going to take this tape. We'll go back to our double-sided sticky tape again, get an idea of how long that we need it, and cut it up. And then we'll start it off here, and then I'm sticking it down. Okay, and then that'll do the sticky side there, and then I do need another one just down over on the edge, so I'm going to make a smaller piece, and we'll just stick that down over there just to get a little bit more sticking power. And we'll peel that off and fold it over, and there we go. I like that. I think that looks really nice. It's going to look great. All right, and ever so gently, we're lining up things here. And then I'm opening the book, and you'll see me opening the book quite a bit because I'm still burnishing and I'm trying to make some lines to know where to cut. And then also folding, I'll be folding this back and forth just to make sure that it will close. Because that's when we used to cover our books, that's what you had to make sure you didn't get them too tight. But this is, again, as I said, it's not the exact way that we used to do it. And I was finding myself trying to remember back how we did put the book covers on, but I can't remember too well. But here we go. I'm going to cut a little piece out of this corner. And what that'll do is it will give a little bit of space in there so it's not so bulky to where it can't shut. All right, and just doing some trimming here, a little bit of folding, double checking, making sure that closes over there. All right, and then I'm going to cut that little piece off because we don't need that. And then here again, checking. And I'm going to fold that over. I'm just burnishing a little bit more. Then there's another piece up top here. I'm going to trim that, and we'll get that out of the way. And then we'll fold this down here. And how about what I'm going to do too is make sure I can fold it the same way on the inside of the book. But here again, just doing my checking, making sure I can close it. And it looks good, but I'll keep checking as I go through, because once you tape it down, it's not real easy to get off. You can get it off, but we would rather not do that to pull everything apart. So we'll just check ahead here and see, this is where I want to fold that piece in so it's the same as the top and same as the bottom. Okay, and here we are. Everything is looking good. And we're just going to get that tape down. All right, and it is closing up nice and tight for us. All right, and I'm going to run my tape. We'll run it right across the bottom, do our trimming. And there we'll pull that top piece off. And we're just folding it right up. All right, and then for the back, since I don't have any more paper that matches this, I'm just going to take some purple paper, and I cut it on my trimmer and measured it, and you can see I've done some folds and kind of burnished it down just so I can get an idea where I'm going to cut and fold. So we're just getting an idea of that back of that book, and it's going to go pretty much the same way as the front cover did. It just won't be bent. We're just pretty much covering the back. So okay, and then here, once I've got that cover done and take that back cover done and tape down, I made two pieces here, and I just measured them out and cut two pieces and put that in just to give it a little bit of a finished look. And in the front I have one of the purple paper on there as well. And that was just some of my scrapbook paper that I had left over. All right, and then you see we do have this little seam here that is not closing. So I'm just going to get out the good old Mod Podge, and I've got a stick here. it will work better if I use the skinny stick. And I just put some Mod Podge on the end of the stick, and I'm getting it into that little spot right there, getting all my Mod Podge right in place. And we'll get a little bit more, and then I'm just going to line that whole piece right there, and we'll get it in. All right, and then to weld these two together, I'm just going to keep pushing it. And you know, Mod Podge is so easy to work with. It's so forgiving. So I'm just taking my fingers and pushing those pieces together, giving them a chance to attach to each other, and closing up that gap. All right, now I'll hold on to that for a little bit, and it's already starting to attach to each other. So we'll just hold it along, pushing, burnishing it, and we're starting to get a seal here. And here we go. All right, and then I'm just pressing that back down. And to make sure that that seals up, because you know we can't sit here and hold it the whole time, we're gonna take some of these little clips here and just move right along the edge of that book. And then these are some of my Dollar Tree clips and just some Home Depot, and just a combination of that, Harbor Freight. Everything that you can imagine here is in the bag. And we're clipping along. Seems like a lot of clips, but it really helped to have a lot of clips. All right, and then we're going to sneak another one in there, and we're just going to let that dry. And the clips will not make a dent in that front paper, but it did, you could see it more. Well, it made a dent a little bit in the back. But anyway, here's my craft project journal. I got this on Creative Fabrica. It's 2 different files, and I will link them below. I did use some brown paint on the edges here. I got that from Dollar General, and it's just brown. So I wanted to make this look a little bit more vintagey, and I decided I would do the edges here. And I cut this out I actually just printed it out, and I put it together in Affinity, and then just, you know, putting that brown paint on those edges there. And I really like the way that that looks. It gives it a name. And then here's the back. I'm showing you how that pieced together. Then to cover up the back of that piece, I have showing you some charms that I'm going to put on. It's a little fairy and then a lantern. And I want to use this ribbon. So I'm going to put a bow here just to give this just a little bit more texture and a little bit, make it a little bit whimsical. So I'm just tying a regular overhand bow, nothing fancy here. And then I'm going to take those charms and put them on the ends of the ribbons. And then I do secure those ribbons a little bit more later on, just so that they're not covering up the C there. But there it is with the charms on the end. And I'll put a little bit of glue on those too, just a tiny little bit of hot glue so that they don't keep moving around. All right, and then just to cover up that back piece, I'm going to take more of that ribbon and just bring it through. And you see, I can just see a little bit of imprints from the clips that I put on, and I was trying to just to cover them up. And you don't see them at all on the other paper, but you do see it on my regular scrapbook paper. So I don't know if it's the lighter color or, you know, probably the quality. The BLEDS paper is just of higher quality. And there you have it. Craft project journal made from BLEDS scrapbook paper 6x6. And the ribbon, I just love the way the ribbon came out, and the charms look so pretty on it. And it's going to be the perfect little craft journal. I can put all of my craft projects in there, and I can date them when I get an idea, and I can just put them right in, put all those projects right in there. And that is our review for the BLEDS Vintage Paper Pack. We highly recommend these papers. They are great quality with vibrant, vivant colors, and they're easy to fold and conform to your project. There's also a Facebook group that we'll link below if you would like to join the Lee Aya Craft Supply BLEDS store for more projects or products like these. We also had the opportunity to review Honey Flowers, the Honey Flowers paper pack, and as soon as that video is posted, we'll put that link in the description below. And if you make a journal, share the inspiration and tag us on Instagram or visit us on Facebook at Tranquil Mentor. And if you're already one of our subscribers, welcome back and thanks for watching our video today. And if you're not a subscriber, welcome to our channel. And if you would be so kind to subscribe and like our video, it helps YouTube notice us a little bit more, and it supports our channel and helps us to grow. And as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.